Welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be hitting the core, we're going to be hitting the hips, really just getting a full body activation for this morning, okay? So let's find ourselves on the mat, no equipment needed, just your body and your willingness. See you in a sec. Find yourself on the mat and remember, consistency is the key in this journey, okay? Doesn't matter about fancy moves, doesn't matter about going all the way and getting really intense. What matters most is that we are consistent, okay? We're in this for the long run, at least I am. Find yourself on the mat and let's warm into the wrists. Fingers, toes, knees, all on top, all in contact with the ground. Starting to grip the ground with the fingers and make some nice circles over the wrists. Now's a really good opportunity to breathe slow with these nice big and round circular motions. Make sure to go both ways. You can really push through the arms as well, getting a stretch in the back of the shoulders. You just do what works for you and what feels good. And when you're ready, let's bring our forearms to the ground and we'll go straight in for a nice low plank pose. Pushing back through the heels, pressing through the elbows and forearms. Now, here's your key details for the plank pose. A lot of people have the tendency to drop the lower back. First things first is tuck the tailbone, round the tailbone under so you feel core activation. Secondly, press through the elbows and forearms, creating a slight roundness in the upper back. Holding here for 10. 9, you can rock side to side, 7, 6, 5, keep the tailbone tucked, 4, 3, collarbones dropped, 2, 1. Drop back into a child's pose, open the knees nice and wide, reach the arms out in front and just place the forehead on the ground. Taking some nice conscious breaths. We're here to thrive, which means it's important that we learn to tune in because that is essential when it comes to thriving in the mind. A calm mind creates a better body and experience as a human being. So find calmness in your mind through deep, long and consistent breaths. When you're ready, let's go for another plank pose. Heels push back, tuck the tailbone underneath as much as you can. Press through the elbows and forearms, creating roundness in the upper back. And then just drop those collarbones and shoulder blades down. Takes a little while getting used to all of these small details. But do your best and let's hold for 10, 9, 8, tuck from the tailbone, 7, 6, 5, press through the elbows, 4, 3, breathe, 2, and 1. Lower and back. Into child's pose once again. This time we'll take a slight variation. We'll open the knees nice and wide and then we'll take our hips just a little bit forwards, reaching the arms in front. Gazing straight ahead if that feels okay on the neck. And breathing into the upper spine. On the exhale, make sure to bring the armpits in towards the ground. We're trying to bring our chest through. Really breathing into that spine. Good, let's come one last time into a plank pose, but this time we're going to take a variation of a high plank. Now we're going to make this a little bit difficult, and that's okay. Get outside your comfort zone today, alright? Straight arms, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back, drop the collarbones, and breathe here for 10, 9, very straight in the arms and very tucked in the tailbone, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back onto our knees, our heels. If this is painful on the knees, just tuck the toes. We'll place the hands behind the back, open through the chest and shoulders. On the exhale, straighten through the arms. Chasing the hands towards the ground. Your spine might pop like mine does. And let's go back. For plank pose, variation. As we enter our plank, we're going to take our left arm off the ground, left hand off the ground, and the right leg also. Now, fight the fight, find the balance, press through the ground, straight arms, holding here for 5, 4, you're meant to be shaken, 3, arms up, 2, leg up, and 1. Back to plank, and let's swap sides. Right arm comes up, left leg behind, hold here for 5, 4, you'll twist and turn, 3, 2, and 1. Press back to downward facing dog. Pull the heels to the ground. Well done for doing that one. That one is even difficult for me. Just breathe as we oscillate and alternate each heel to the ground. When you're ready, let's roll to a high plank, with or without the knees. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale into cobra. And exhale, child's pose. Rest the forehead on the ground. We don't want to rest too much yet, so let's find ourselves back in downward facing dog. We'll take our right leg nice and high, start working into the lower body. Step all the way through. Grounding the left heel onto the ground and leaning into that lunge, entering warrior 1 pose. The outer edge of the left foot stays pressed into the ground. It has a tendency to lift up. Keep it pressed into the ground. Lean into the right leg. Keep those hips face forwards. And when you're ready, let's bring the hands to the ground. And straighten out through those legs. So we're taking a variation of pyramid pose here. The chest comes through, the spine is long, and on the exhale, we come deeper and deeper into the posture. Coming back onto the right foot, press back to downward facing dog. Left leg comes up nice and high, right heel squeezes down. Step through. Right heel grounds into the mat. Raise through the arms, warrior one. Keeping that pinky side of the right foot pressed into the ground. Shoulders relaxed. And the breath is deep. When you're ready, bring the hands to the ground. Lean back, taking the toes of the left foot to the sky. Be easy on the left knee. If you can't get fully straight, a slight bend is okay. Lengthening the spine on the inhale. Exhale. Bringing the belly into the thigh and the head towards the left toes. With that right heel still squeezing back towards the ground. Deepening into the lunge. Left foot comes back to the ground. Press back to downward facing dog. Roll to a nice high plank. Exhale. Chaturanga. And inhale to cobra. Exhale. Into downward facing dog. Let's work into our hips just a little bit now. We'll take our right leg up nice and high and step. We'll take our right leg nice and high and we'll squeeze our right knee behind and against the right tricep. Now the toes point towards the tailbone. We stay contracted for 5, straight arms, 3, 2, grip the ground, 1, and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, lizard pose, peeling back through the left foot, sink deep. We can even sit nice and high on the fingertips. Just to correct the pelvic rotation, pelvic tilt. Let's bring the belly button through as opposed to pushing those hips back. We want to drive through. If you can, let's go slightly deeper onto the forearms. No problem if that's a bit too much. Just work with what feels comfortably challenging for you. Ebbing and flowing, left to right, just making the posture work for you. And when you're ready, straighten out through that front leg into a nice half split. Lengthen on the inhale, right hip pulls back. Exhale, walk just a little bit deeper. Trying to avoid roundness in the upper back here and focus more on bringing the belly button and the chest through the arms. Let's bring the right foot back down and press to downward facing dog. Left leg comes up nice and high. And we squeeze the right knee to the back of the right tricep, taking the toes to the tailbone. Squeeze and breathe. For 5, 4, take the knee as high as you can. 3, 2, 1. Step the foot to the outside of the left hand. Enjoy a passive stretch. Come high onto the fingertips, push the hips through. And notice if the left knee starts to fall too far over to the left side. Try and bring the knee over the ankle. And just make it work for you. Sinking deeper when that feels right. And just exploring within the posture to see what works best for you in this moment. Now's a really good opportunity to come back to the breath. And when you're ready, let's press through the hands, leaning back into our half split. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, leaning deeper and deeper. Feeling that release in the back of the left leg. Pull back through the hips. And when you're ready, left foot comes back to the ground. Let's come back to downward facing dog. The right leg comes up nice and high. And we'll float to a high plank, taking a chaturanga with the leg raised. Inhale into cobra and exhale into downward facing dog. Left leg comes up. Let's do the same on the opposite side. Float. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's breathe in this position as we just pull our heels to the ground. Head through the shoulders. Fingers nice and wide. Breath nice and deep. Right leg comes up nice and high. Again, let's take that right tricep and right knee together. Squeeze. And when you're ready, let's twist into a side plank variation. Now, you can use your right leg in front for support like this. Or take that right leg higher for a lot more core activation. Press through the arms, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, raise that leg, 2, 1. Back to downward facing dog. Let's go on the opposite side. Left leg comes up. Left knee, left tricep, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist to the right side. Left leg in front for that support, or lift through the knee or the leg. Breathe in here for 5, 4, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Back to down dog. Inhale, float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're not going to rest yet, but very soon. Right leg comes up nice and high. And we bring our right knee behind the right wrist. And just adjusting our right shin, making it more or less parallel to the front of the mat. This is going to change the intensity of the next posture. So maybe find a middle way for you. Sit on top of the hips. Pull back through the left toes. And if this is not intense enough, make it more intense by moving that leg. If it's too intense, make it less intense by bringing it closer. Pigeon pose. Extend through the fingers. Deepening back into the breath. Belly button comes forwards, elbows come to the ground, chest comes through, and when you're ready, find your forehead in contact with the ground. Using this as an opportunity to come back to breath and peace of mind. This moment is the focus. The mat is the priority. The breath is in motion and synchronized with each posture. Feel your forehead against the ground and breathe in silence. Ready? Let's push out of the posture. Press back into downward facing dog. Just feel the difference now in your right leg. Left leg comes up nice and high. Right heel squeezes down, head comes through. This is already a mighty release. Let's bring the right knee, the left knee, behind the left wrist. Peel back through the right toes. And again, adjusting that left leg to meet the correct intensity for you. Extend through the fingertips. Let's take the belly through the arms. It's obviously not going to happen, but we're going to aim for it. Belly pushes through, chest comes through. Hip pushes down to the ground, but the level of our pelvis stays level to the ground. Coming deeper onto our forearms. Bringing that belly button through. And coming to a restful pigeon pose. If it makes sense or it doesn't make sense, just play with the idea of this. Breathe into the hip. Observe how the hip expands with the breath and contracts with the out breath. The deeper the breath, the deeper you will experience this. Let's press up. And instead of coming back to down dog, we'll come onto the front of the body. And we'll start to strengthen the lower back, which is usually neglected in the core training. We're going to go for 10 woodpeckers. These are called. Legs squeezed together, elbows out to the sides like this. Forehead always stays pointed to the ground. We're not going to lift up and look up. We're going to lift, still looking at the ground, for 10, 9, repetitions, 8, 7, squeeze through the back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here for 5, 4, activate the lower back, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the forehead on the ground, take the arms out in front. Legs squeeze together, and one by one we're going to raise through the legs. So left leg raises, 1, and lower. Right leg, raise, and lower. Let's go for 10, 9, alternating sides, 8, forehead to the ground, 7, knee nice and straight, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Framing the hands with the chest. And pushing back to child's pose. Just taking the tailbone underneath, releasing tension from the lower back. And when you're ready, Let's come to seated posture. Simply coming onto a seat, and we'll go into Navasana, boat pose. Shins parallel to the sky, arms out in front, chest raised. Breathe in here deeply for 10, 9, straightening those legs if you can, 8, 7, 6, engage the core, 5, stay high on the tailbone, 3, 2, 1, pressing the lower back into the ground, lowering into a low boat. And so we shouldn't be able to fit our hand underneath the lower back, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, press the lower back, 3, 2, and 1. Sitting our heels into the tailbone, feet come nice and wide, relaxing onto the back, squeezing the right knee in, pushing through the left heel, and on the next exhale, twist the right leg over to the left side, gaze over the right shoulder, and release. Left knee squeezes in, right heel pushes forwards towards the front of the mat. Press through that heel, squeeze in. And twist. Over to the right side, gazing over the left shoulder. Allow the breath to do the work. And release. Let's bring our left heel close towards the body. Our right leg nice and high towards the sky. Right ankle comes on top of the left knee. Now it's not on the left thigh. It's right at the top of the left thigh, just where the thigh meets the knee. Reach through the gap that we've created in the middle with the right arm. Left arm comes around, meets the other hand. Clasp the fingers together and squeeze as we pull in. Make any slight adjustments to the leg so that we can reach the right hip. Pulling that knee in. Pressing the tailbone to the ground at the same time. Bringing the back of our shoulders to the ground. And keeping our right foot flexed to protect the right knee. Deepen with every breath. When you're ready, release. Right heel squeezes to the body. Left leg comes up nice and high. Left ankle onto the top of the right thigh, meeting the knee. Left arm reaches through, right hand meets the left. Pull in, back of the shoulders pressed into the ground, and the tailbone also pulls down as we bring that knee and foot closer to the chest. You'll find what works for you. The reclined pigeon pose is a really good way to open into the hips in a passive way. So make sure to use this one in your practice. Let's relax. And bring both of the heels to the outer edges of the mat, close to the body, so the knees naturally collapse in. We'll take a bridge pose, pressing through the hips. Hands clasped together underneath the body. Roll the shoulders underneath. Breathe. Press through the heels. Breathing into the chest. And release. Take a breath or two for a rest. When you're ready, let's go again, straight away for bridge pose. Or, if you would like to finish on wheel pose, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows come in. Inhale onto the top of the head. Exhale, pushing through the arms and legs. Activating the legs fully, pressing through them as though we're trying to fully straighten those legs. Gaze into the mat. Lifting through the ribs. Maybe walking those feet even closer. And when you're ready, release safely, squeezing the knees into the chest. Release that tension from the lower back. And final time, take your bridge pose, or we'll come right back into our wheel pose. Safety in the elbows and wrists. Inhale up onto the top of the head, press through the arms as though we're bringing the head through the shoulders, opening up the spine, chest, and shoulder mobility. Press through the legs, activate the glutes. Breathe in here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower into the ground. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Maybe even hugging those knees with the arms. Breathe in slowly. Good, and let's start to make some circles on the lower back. Moving in one direction. And when you're ready, the opposite direction. Squeeze in nice and tight. Bring the upper back off the ground. And fully release. And just to finish, let's bring our arms to the sides of the body. Press the hips up. And we're going to start taking our heels towards the tailbone. But keeping the hips off the ground. Notice how this starts to activate the core, especially as we start to lower to the ground. Find the point that works for you. Maybe where the body starts to shake, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter in Shavasana. Legs fully extended, palms faced up towards the sky. Untuck the back of the head, lengthening the neck. Untuck the back of the shoulders. And enjoy rest. Finding a natural breath. And treating this posture just like any other posture. With commitment. And with persistence. Perhaps placing one hand on the abdomen, one hand on the heart. You might feel your heartbeat if this was challenging for you. Well done for making it through this practice. Coming to a sense of gratitude for your ability to move and push beyond your comfort zone. Let's bring our awareness into the forehead. Taking the eyes, looking up in between the eyebrows with the eyes closed. Just holding our gaze in between the eyebrows. Relaxing the forehead. Relaxing the eyebrows and the eyes. Relaxing the cheeks and the jaw. Relaxing the shoulders and the chest. Becoming aware of the back of the neck. And any tension that's unnecessary, just allow that tension to soften. The jaw, allow the jaw to hang loose. We'll bring our awareness down into the abdomen, relaxing the abdomen. And all the way down through the spine, relaxing the spine and the lower back. Really feel your spine. All the way from top to bottom. Relaxing each leg individually. The right leg relaxes at the hip, the glute. The thigh relaxes and the knee. Relaxing the lower leg, the heel, the sole of the right foot, and relaxing the toes completely. Left leg relaxes at the hip, the thigh, and knee, and the lower leg relaxes along with the heel, the sole of the left foot, and the left toes. Relaxing the left toes. Let's take our arms out to the sides of the body if they aren't already. Palms faced up. Relax down through each arm individually all the way to the palms and the tips of the thumbs and fingers. Just feel your entire body relaxing from head to toe. though there is a wave of relaxation that moves up and down through the body. Continuously relaxing you, regenerating your body and vitality in every moment. Full body relaxation. And when you're ready, let's bring the feet closer to the body, soles of the feet to the ground. Just feeling the ground underneath. Turning onto the side. And finding our way back up to seated posture. Thank you for coming to class today. Now is a perfect moment for you to practice some meditation, for you to read a book, maybe write some goals. Now is a really key moment for you to carry this momentum forward for the rest of your day. So thanks as always for coming to class. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Like and share this video. Comment if you felt this routine and you enjoyed it. Let me know where you found it challenging, and I would truly appreciate if you came to class again. So I'll see you in another video. This is Usman, and we're thriving here on earth. We ain't surviving. Peace.